we're back, and as you can see here, got the new Technomancer that came in with issue 18. Just about ready to put this model together. Got a big 50 mil base with a little bit of stuff stuck on it, and we'll be putting this guy together. And it's really kind of two models in one. As you see, kind of like this little spidery guy at the bottom that I thought at first he was standing on, but they're actually connected through this like scorpion tail looking thing. There's actually kind of like two models on one thing. So we'll be making this guy. First time I've ever made this. I think they're supposed to be pretty good idea for a HQ choice. This is they give you a little piece of information. When assembling this fighter, clip off the components numbered 8 and assemble them before clipping out those numbers. Ah, yes. Okay, so they're saying clip out 8 first, and then clip out these that are number 7. So we should make sure we do that when we get down to here. We're starting up here. Let's put the kind of the base together on that spine, and pop this thing on, and then start with 8s. And it looks like you're looking at it upside down. So, alrighty, let's get started here. Get our handy dandy clippers. We use the flat sides pushed up against the piece that we're clipping out. So we need 5. Oh goodness. Oh no, we do 2, 3, and 4 first. So this is 2. So you gotta read those directions. Otherwise you could be making a mistake. 2, 3. Like the bottom of the spider. Get those cleaned up and put together. Alright, so our tools out here, sanding stick and our scriber. I'm going to go across, and there's some here. Again, it looks kind of bad. Because it's a big piece of plastic. When you take that off, it often leaves a pretty big gash, so you got to scrape it down. It looks like we've got some heavy duty mold lines here. Just come across it lightly. Alright. Looking good, and then the back will always have some. I think I'll use a stick because it folds in concave like that. It's really kind of hard to get at. And then this glues right under. There's a little nib there. It sets into that slot. Let's see. This piece, yeah, so there's a little slot there. Well, there's a little slot there with a little nib there, I guess is actually how it goes. But these have a little bit of flash on the edge that you're going to want to trim down because it might not set real well if there's some flash out here. Alright, I saw, yeah, there's a little, ooh, that's nasty. Do a little extra clip there. Alright, so let's get a little bit of our trusty plastic cement here. Hit a bit there. A little bit there. Just kind of twist it around. There you go. It falls right into place. Just give it a good squeeze there for a second. And then there it is. Glue that together. Hold on to both pieces, and it's easy to just lay some glue in there and a little bit across this here. Just hold it. Make sure this is screwed on tight. Okay, it's over here. There's 5. And here's 6, the little mandibles. So let's just get that sanded down a little bit. Pretty simple. Be careful. I'm sure these pointy bits don't have a lot of strength. So you don't really need to sand them down too hard. Alright, so that is the face. Yep, there's a little divot there, a little holder there. I guess we can get that going. Make sure you don't put his face upside down. Alright. There you go. Kind of looking off one way. Let him down. And let's see. Yeah, there's a little here. There's a little here. Not bad. I guess, yeah, it's symmetrical. There's just arch here and in the back, and that's where it goes like that. Let's see, where is this getting glue? It's these bits right here. Coming off of these, that's where it's primarily going to be getting some glue. Go slap some on there. And also these prongs here. Those look like they might be getting glue points. I said before, you got some time before this glue becomes like not gluable. Working time. And we'll just hold that for a few seconds. Okay, so what I've done here, this is glued up pretty good, and I've got all the 8s here, like they told us, and all the 7s over here. I guess there is a difference, but they said put the 8s on first, and then the 7s. And then you hold them upside down, it looks like the 8s go here. And then the 7s go around here, and there's one there. So I'm just gonna cut them all out. I'll get them scribed down, get them cleaned up, and then we'll start with the 2 8s over here. See you in a minute. Alright, so here's the 8s, and the 7s are over here. They are a little different. Got a bit of a different profile there. So the 8s, and reference the picture again. The 8s are on one side and the 7s are kind of on the other. And if you look at the artwork, the 3D rendering, you see those two right there are your 8s, and the other ones are the 7s. And this one 7 you'll see actually supports. It's kind of a bit of a support. So there's your 8s and the 7. So that really kind of helps. It's going to take a while. You got to do this 6 times, and you got to really hold on to that glue and the leg steady, so that you have to give it time to glue up. And I mean, you know, like count to 10, 12, 13. Give it some time. It's just going to take a while. You don't need to see me do this. You just get a little glue. You need to get a little glue here where it's going to attach, and you can like hold this and a leg at the same time. So put a little glue in, put a little glue in. And remember, you're looking at it upside down. So the leg has to like point up towards you. Don't try to put the leg in pointing down, because then it'll be like pointing up when he's sitting there. So it's upside down. So the leg has to come up to you. Get a little glue on each side. And you just sit there and hold it. Count to 12, count to 15, whatever you want. And you're done. You got to do it 6 times. So good luck, and I'll see you in a bit. Alright, so I'll show you how I'm doing this. I got the 2 8s glued in. So, yeah, you got to remember that the claw is going to go in upside down. So the part that you're going to glue on the claw is like the top. But then you're going to put it upside down into the slot. So, sorry, I got a little shake there. And just get some glue in there. And just grab the claw. Put it on there and hold it. There's 3 of them, all done on one side, the 2 8s here, and the 1 7. I think that's the one that's actually going to be like touching the ground. So, yeah, and you can look, when you're looking at the top, it's a little crooked, just give it a little twist. So there you go, 3 more to go. Okay, and you see I use the clothespin to kind of hold this guy up. I don't want to put him down on those legs, so I'm just attached them to a clothespin, setting them aside. And next we're doing 9 and 10, a couple bigger pieces here, so don't have to worry so much about the fidgeting. Starting in on the Technomancer himself. He's got quite a few little snips here. Careful when you get around to his robe parts. Oh, and he's got one right on his chest, like always. I think every single Necron has an attachment on his chest. And oh, that's an ugly one on his thigh. Oh well, we can work on that. Some more attachments on his chest here for second piece. And then the chest again, and there you go, right on the thigh. That'll look lovely. Okay, so this is just basically putting his body together. Yeah, should be a nice easy fit there. Just gotta get some of this off, and he's got, is that supposed to be there? I don't think that's supposed to be there. Okay, interesting. It's an interesting piece. Not really attached to the sprue, but it's part of the sprue. So don't forget to clip that piece off on the foot. Glad I saw that. That'd have been embarrassing. Yeah, let's see, yeah. So he should go together pretty easy. Just be careful on the thigh. Might even be able to clip some more off. Maybe not. Yeah, just have to get in there with the scriber. Oh, careful. But remember, take just a little bit off at a time. Don't try to clean the whole piece off at once. Yeah, it's much nicer. Let's see, yeah, around his little halo here. And just to follow the contour of those roundy bits and you'll be fine. You'll have to go into the ribs here as always. That there, okay. Yeah, let's use a little bit of sanding stick. These are it's a really good tool on rounded parts because you can really get a good job done. Let's see, where were the other? Yep, on his foot. Yep. He's all floaty bit guy, so they're won't be coming in contact with the ground. Their thighs always have something. Or what are those? Calves. Calves always have something. See, the other piece has got the shoulder. I think there's something that comes up over this even, so. Yeah, because like those are supposed to be there. Lines. Yeah, the thigh looks not bad. Some glue points here. Oh yeah, it doesn't go together too well. I guess that looks alright. That looks like it's supposed to be there. Wonder why shoulders don't come together too well. I guess that's supposed to be there. I mean, that's kind of a big gap for a mistake. Alright, so it looks mainly like his chest. About the only... Oh, that's on there. Drop some there, some there. Go get that hood a little bit. Thigh. Pop them together. Grab a clothespin. And let them dry. So what's next? Okay, so his arms and his face. So we'll be right back. Gonna let this guy dry. Alright. Was that a little bit of a big issue there, and also why you want to keep those little cellophane bags and keep the sprues in there until you're ready to use them and put them together, because number 11, the head, it wasn't on the sprue. It was in the bag that I had just thrown away, but luckily I had just thrown it away, so I was able to get it. Got these pieces cleaned off, the heads and arm. The spear is always fun. Sometimes you go a little too much at it, and these little, I don't know what they are, like segmentations disappear. And sometimes you can get them just with your thumb. I like my thumbnail or something. It's usually pretty easy to just put a little more definition back in there. So that's a good trick too. This guy's been sitting for a while. He's all dried out. Let's see. So we've got, I think these are all, there's little nubs in there, and they're on a ball. So you can kind of put them anywhere you want. Model shows them up fairly high. So let's get to gluing. Yeah, I really thought that I was going to be in a pickle, because a model without a head looks pretty funny. I like just a minute before I started making this guy, I threw it away after I thought I had checked. Could have sworn I looked through it and didn't see anything, but his head was in there still. This looks like, yeah, it's actually kind of got a place in there, it kind of catches. So we'll just hold that in there for a few seconds. While we were doing that, I noticed, missed a little bit. This guy's inner foot. That would have bugged me when I was painting. Alright, that looks better. Alright, so this guy's coming together now. Both arms are on there real well. And now it's time for the head that I can't believe. Ah, man, I would have been pissed. Suppose you just knowing how much trouble these Necron heads give me. Just kind of sits in there. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Just kind of looking over. Okay. So we'll set that down, let it dry up. The next part is 14, and then I think we'll accept, yeah, so we got 2 pieces left. The base that thing sits into and his like outer cowl, cloak, thingamajiggy. So I'll cut those out, scrape them off, and get them glued in, and we'll be done. Alright, so I kind of cheated. I already slid this guy on there. Real easy to get him on there, so I wanted to get him off the clothespin and kind of see what he's looking like. So it's looking pretty good. Now this, the cowl back part, back plate, whatever you want to call it, has got some really nasty connection points because they're so thin. So what I did is I clipped them a little further away from the figure, the actual piece, so that I could get them out and look at it and see like what's going on here. So yeah, it's much easier to clip them once you've done that. You can see, you can follow the line on the edge of that and clip it off. There we go, much easier. So that was left hardly anything, and the same here. This guy's really tricky. Take 2 snips and get him off. This one came off fairly well, so nothing to complain there. And then just go at it. So yeah, sometimes it's better to just go ahead and leave a little bit on there instead of trying to get it off all at once. Like I said, you know, two snips, a couple extra scrapes is always better than trying to go in there with high power utensil kind of thing, and you don't want to do that because then you run the risk of like leaving a big old divot on the side here, and that's right up at his head. So I mean, people are going to see that. It'd be like, oh wow, what happened here? And it's like, oh, battle damage. Yeah. So yeah, sometimes just leave a little bit of the sprue behind kind of thing, and you'll be happier that you did. Then you can really get in there and see what's going on, take a good snip, and not ruin a very expensive model. And these little guys and these characters are like $35-40, so it's a good idea to leave just that little bit of sprue on there and then come in afterwards and get it cleaned off. So they're actually telling you to glue this guy on first, so we shall do that. And yep, yeah, that fits on there pretty good. So we'll do that. I'll be right back. Alrighty, so that's glued on there. Pretty nice and tight. There's a lot of plastic to plastic on there, so that's going to be pretty nice and steady. But I'm not going to glue this guy onto here because he actually fits. There's a huge chunk of plastic in there, and I've already tried it, and he fits in there, and he fits in there pretty secure. So I think until I get like this painted and him painted, I think I might just leave him unglued. I think it'd be easier to paint and I'm not like a pro painter in any stretch of the word. So, but it'd be easy enough to, like you can. I'm gonna use a little bit of super glue here in a minute and glue this down. Do my little super glue trick, and when you're ready to paint, I mean, you can spray paint this guy holding on to this spear, and then like hold on here and spray paint the tip real quick. So I mean that's pretty easy to get done, and then when you're ready to paint, you can paint like this thing. Whoops, it's not glued down yet. Paint this guy first, get it all painted up real nice, and then you can paint, do a good job getting the back and the front of this guy. Well, while holding on to the spear, it wouldn't be too hard to do. And then glue, and then squish him on there, because he does go in there pretty nice, and he's pretty sturdy. Yeah, he's not gonna fit on there without some glue. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do at least. But that's up to you. Thanks for watching, and keep building. We got the next set in the other day, so I'll do an intro video to that, and see what came in. Pretty excited. So keep building.